Hello friends. Now friends, in this video, let's take things further. So you must be knowing that in the last two videos, we have discussed the first few questions of the second chapter, that is the relations and functions of NCERT exemplar booklet. Right. So that was chapter number 2, relations and functions, and we have discussed the short answer type questions, the long answer type questions. Now in this video, let us discuss the remaining questions which will involve the multiple choice questions or fill in the blanks or true or false type of questions. All right, so let's begin this journey and let's start solving the remaining questions of chapter 2, relations and functions from NCERT exemplar. Now our next question is question number 24. Now it is about the number of relations that can be defined from a given set to another set. Okay. Now number of relations. So if I talk about the total number of relations, that depends on the number of elements in the first set as well as the second set. Now here you are given that number of elements in set A is equal to M and number of elements in set B is equal to N. So if I have to write the total number of relations that can be calculated by using the formula 2 raised to the power m multiply n, where m and n are respectively the number of elements in set A and set B. So this is the total number of relations. In this question, they are asking about the number of non-empty relations. So the number of non-empty relations. So out of all the relations that will be made, there will be one relation 5 comma 5 which will be an empty relation, right? So if I'm looking at number of non-empty relations, so what you have to do is you just have to subtract 1 from the above formula. So it will be 2 raised to the power mn minus 1. All right. So accordingly, the answer should be option D. So option D is the correct answer for this question. Okay. So that was question number 24. Let's move on and look at our next question, question number 25. Now, question number 25, there is an equation that is given to us where the function given in brackets, it denotes the greatest integer function. Then we'll have to find out the range of values which will be defined by x. Okay, so this is a pretty easy question. So what you can do is to start with, you can do a small substitution. You can say that y is equal to greatest integer function x. Okay, so wherever you see the greatest integer function, you replace it by y. So the equation will now become y square minus 5y plus 6 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation, right? You know how to solve a quadratic equation, so isko solve karte hain. So what I'll do is I'll do the factorization. So factorization using splitting the middle term. So y square minus 3y minus 2y plus 6 equal to 0, and that will give me y minus 3 multiplied by y minus 2 equal to 0. So from here I've got two values of y is equal to 3 or y is equal to 2. Okay, now what is y? Y is greatest integer function. Okay, so let's take these two values of y one by one. So if y is equal to 2, if I'll say that y is equal to 2, that means greatest integer function of x is equal to 2, then x will belong to, so greatest integer function is 2, so I can say that the value of x can start from 2 and it will go up till 3, but it will be less than 3 because greatest integer function of 3 is equal to 3. Okay, so we can say that x belongs to 2 comma 3, all the values between 2 and 3, where 2 will be included but 3 will not be included. Now, similarly, for the next value of y, if y is equal to 3, then greatest integer function of x is equal to 3, and in the similar manner, x will belong to 3 to 4, all the values starting from 3 up till 4, but 4 will not be included and 3 will be included. Now, if I'll combine these two values of x, so after combination, you can say that x will belong to, starting from 2 up till 4, all the values here, 3 is included in the second range. Okay, So starting from 2 up till 4, but 4 is not included. So the correct answer of this question, of question number 25, will also be option D. Okay, so option D is the correct answer of question number 25. Let's quickly move ahead and look at our next question, question number 26. Now, question number 26 will have to find out the range of given function. Now, we have done plenty of questions like this in the previous videos. Okay, so look at the denominator. In the denominator, you can see cos of x. I can say that the value of cos x will always be less than equal to 1 and it will be greater than equal to minus 1. So the value of cos x will be in the range starting from -1 up till +1 and both will be included. Okay. So what will be the range for 2 cos x? So 2 cos x will be between -2 and +2. Similarly, -2 cos x will be between, you can change the signs. Okay. So if I'm multiplying with negative number, so if I multiply with negative number, it will become less than equal to 2 and greater than equal to -2. All right. So -2 cos x का जो वैल्यू होगा वो अगेन -2 और +2 के बीच में ही लाई करेगा. Now 1 minus 2 cos x, so if I'll add 1 on both sides, will lie between 3 and -1. Okay. तो इसका maximum value 3 हो सकता है and minimum value can be -1. Now looking at the denominator here, 1 minus 2 cos x. So if I know that the value of the denominator will be, or the maximum value will be 3 and the minimum value will be -1. So we can say that the value or the range of this entire function can be negative or it can be positive, right? Because denominator can be positive, denominator can be negative. So the value of the function can be both either positive or negative. On the basis of that, you can eliminate option A. So I'm giving you a different way of approaching these type of questions where the question is supported by the options. Options bhi hain hamare paas. Okay, right? Now, next look at the other three remaining options, option B, C and D. I have already eliminated option A. Okay. Now, option B and option D. Option B says the range is starting from -1 up till 1 upon 3. So that means 0 is included in this range. So that means option B is saying that one of the values of fx can be 0. So does option D. So option D may be 0, जो value है वो included है, right? Now there is a fraction 1 upon something. Can this fraction be equal to 0? No, it can never be equal to 0. It can always be approaching towards 0 from negative side or positive side. ये 0 को approach कर सकती है, but ये कभी भी 0 के equal नहीं हो. Okay, so I can also say that the range of this function cannot include 0. So option B and option D are again eliminated. Now I'm left with only one option, so I can safely mark option C as the correct answer. All right, so that was question number 26. Let's look at question number 27. Once again, multiple choice question. Now here the function is given, fx is defined as under root of 1 plus x square. Okay. Now you have to find out if f of x into y will be equal to, less than equal to or greater than equal to f of x multiplied by f of y. Okay. So I'll calculate both these left hand side and right hand side separately. Okay. So f of xy will be equal to under root of 1 plus xy whole square, something like this, or you can write it as under root of 1 plus x square y square. Okay. Now next thing is f of x. F of x is equal to under root of 1 plus x square and f of y is equal to under root of 1 plus y square. So the product of fx and fy can be written as under root of 1 plus x square multiplied by under root of 1 plus y square. So if I'll multiply them, so I'll get under root of 1 plus x square plus y square plus x square y square. Alright, x square multiplied by y square. I'll write it once again, this part, the last part. So under root of 1 plus x square plus y square plus x square y square. Alright, now I'll rewrite this as under root of 1 plus x square y square, which was there in f of xy, plus x square plus y square. Okay, so I can see that in f of xy, which is written up there, I had under root of 1 plus x square y square. Now here in fx multiplied by fy, I already have this part and something is added to this. Now what is added? X square plus y square is added. Now x square plus y square will never be a negative number. Okay, so x square plus y square का जो भी value होगा वो या तो 0 होगा या फिर 0 से बड़ा होगा. So I can say that something is being added to this part. Okay, so f of x multiply f of y will definitely be greater than or equal to f of xy. So you can say that f of xy will either be less than or equal to f of x multiplied by f of y, because there is something added here. So this fx into fy will be greater than or equal to f of xy. Alright, so the correct answer of this question should be option C. So that was question number 27. Let's look at question number 28. Now 27 के लिए तो hint भी दिया हुआ था, but definitely we don't require any kind of hint to get the answer of this question. Okay. Now question number 28, we'll have to find out the domain of under root of a square minus x square. Now pretty easy. Square root function. Now what can you say about square root function? Inside the square root, negative value is not acceptable. So whatever I have inside the square root, a square minus x square should be greater than or equal to 0. Alright? Or I can say that x square will be less than or equal to a square. Now x square का value a square से छोटा होना चाहिए और equal भी हो सकता है. Right? So we can say that the value of x will be less than or equal to a, or it will be greater than or equal to minus a, and that defines the domain of this function. Okay, x square less than equal to a square hona chahiye. So I'll give you an example. So let's say question says that x square will be less than or equal to 9. Now what is 9? 9 is the square of 3. So this will happen only if x is between 3 and minus 3. ओके, सो अगर x का वैल्यू -3 से 3 के बीच में होगा, then x square will always be less than equal to 9. Same is the thing that I have done here. So I can say that x will belong to minus a comma a. All right, so x belongs to minus a comma a, both included. So the correct answer should be option B. So 28th question, option B is the correct answer. Moving on, next question, question number 29. The function is defined as ax plus b, where a and b are integers. It is given. F of -1 is given as -5. So let's substitute x equal to -1 in this function. So that will give me a multiplied by -1 plus b, and that should be equal to -5 according to the definition. Okay. So I can say that the first equation is minus a plus b is equal to -5. Alright. Now similarly, f of 3 is given as 3. So you can substitute x equal to 3 in the given function. So a multiplied by 3 plus b should be equal to 3 according to the definition. So 3a plus b is equal to 3. These are linear equations in two variables. The variables are a and b. You can solve for them. And the question is asking about the values of a and b only. Okay. So second equation minus the first equation. So 3a minus a, that will give me 4a. B will get cancelled, and on the right hand side it will be 3 minus -5, that is 8. So the value of a is equal to 2. Alright. Now the value of a is equal to 2. As soon as you get this value of a, you start eliminating the options. If you are lucky, you can eliminate 3 options, but here there are 2 options in which a is equal to 2. So now after getting a as 2, you can substitute the value of a in any of the above equations. So minus a plus b is equal to minus 5. So minus 2 plus b is equal to minus 5. The value of b comes out to be minus 3. Okay. Now a is 2 and b is minus 3. Option B, you can easily mark this one, and option D will not be the answer. So option B is the correct answer of question number 29. Moving on, next question देखते हैं. Now next question, this one looks difficult, but बहुत easy question है. We have solved plenty of questions like this. We have to define the domain of this function. Okay, so we have a square root function clearly visible here, and we also have a fraction inverse function. Okay, so 1 upon under root of x square minus 1. Now 1 upon under root of x square minus 1, under root के अंदर negative sign नहीं होना चाहिए and denominator 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. That means x square minus 1 should be strictly greater than 0. ये 1 भी नहीं 0 भी नहीं हो सकता. X square minus 1 cannot be 0. If x square minus 1 is equal to 0, then we will have 0 in the denominator, which is not acceptable, right? Okay, so x square minus 1 should be greater than 0, right? From here I can say that x square will be greater than 1, right? So x will be greater than 1 or x will be less than minus 1. So x greater than 1 होना चाहिए and less than minus 1 होना चाहिए, right? Now just looking at this, can I eliminate some options? Let's start doing that. So x की value 1 नहीं हो सकती, right? And minus 1 nahi ho sakti. If x is either of these two, 1 or minus 1, then this function will not be defined. Okay. Now option A does not include minus 1 or plus 1. It does not include. So option A is safe. Option B, it includes minus 1 in its domain. So I can eliminate option B. Alright, fine. Option C, it includes 1 in its domain. So it is eliminated. Option D, it also includes 1 in the domain. It will be eliminated. Okay. So just by the method of eliminations, I have eliminated 3 options. So option B, C and D cannot be the answers. I'm left with only one option. I can now safely mark option A as the answer. Okay, so basically the magic is you don't have to solve the question completely. Okay, also if you want to look at it in a complete manner, so look at this part. So under root of 4 minus x, so 4 minus x should be greater than or equal to 0. ठीक है, यहाँ पे नेगेटिव वैल्यूज अलाउड नहीं है, बट अंडर रूट के अंदर 0 हो सकता है बिकॉज इट इज ओनली इन द न्यूमरेटर, right? So x should be less than equal to 4. Now if you'll combine these ranges, if you combine these values of x, you will easily get option A as your answer. Okay, all right. So that was 30th question. Let's look at question number 31. Now question number 31, 4 minus x in the numerator and x minus 4 in the denominator. Now, since the original function has x minus 4 in the denominator, so I can say that x minus 4 cannot be equal to 0. So x cannot equal to 4. So x का value 4 नहीं होना चाहिए. Other than this value of x, the function is defined for all the values of x, right? So x का value सिर्फ 4 नहीं होना चाहिए. Now there is only one option that is satisfying this, that is option C. Only one option. So actually you don't have to find out the range of this function. Range calculate करने की जरूरत नहीं है, domain से ही answer पता लग गया, right? But still if you want to calculate the range, so you can write this function as 4 minus x upon x minus 4. You can take negative sign common from the numerator. X minus 4 upon x minus 4. So if x is not equal to 4, you can cancel x minus 4 from numerator and denominator and you will get minus 1. So for every value of x other than x equal to 4, the value of this function will be equal to -1. So you can say that the range of this function will be -1. And this is what is written in option C, that is the range is equal to -1 other than x equal to 4. Okay, so option C can be marked as your answer. Question number 32, the next question. Again, we'll have to calculate the domain and range, and this must be a very easy question for all of you. So the function is under root of x minus 1. This is defined only when x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, or x is greater than equal to 1. Okay, 1 is included, right? So on the basis of this, I can eliminate option A because option A does not include x equal to 1 in the domain. Otherwise, all the three options, they have it. Now next, talking about the range. Under root of x minus 1, the value of this should always be greater than or equal to 0. इसका value कभी negative नहीं हो सकता, right? So the range should be all the values of this function or y which are greater than or equal to 0. So y belongs to 0 comma infinity and 0 is included. All right. So 0 comma infinity, there is a closed interval on 0, and you can see that this particular thing, domain and range, it satisfies both option C and option D. So there is a probably slight misprint in this because option C and option D are absolutely same. Okay, so you can mark any of these answers. Answer keys में option C answer दिया हुआ है, but option D is also the answer. But there must be a misprint, like I said, and you can mark any of these two options as your answer. Moving on, question number 33. Now, question number 33 is a rational function. I have a numerator, I have a denominator, and nothing complex is given about this function. So it's just that the denominator should not be equal to 0. So let's find out the values of x for which the denominator will be equal to 0. So x square minus x minus 6, the denominator is equal to 0. So I'll factorize it, x square minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 equal to 0. So x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 2 equal to 0. So for x equal to 3 or x equal to minus 2, the denominator will be 0. But I don't want denominator to be equal to 0. So we can say that the domain of this function will be all real numbers except 3 and minus 2. Only these two elements will be removed, and rest, the function will be defined for all the other values of x. Okay. Now, all these options looks similar. Obviously, we do not have to exclude all the values between 3 and minus 2. Okay. So option C cannot be the answer. Option D cannot be the answer. Option A and option B, I have to remove 3 and minus 2, not minus 3 and plus 2. Okay, so be very careful while marking these options. Okay, while marking your answer, very careful because these options looks identical, right? So option A will be the correct answer for question 33. Now question number 34. The function is 2 minus something modulus of x minus 5. Now 2 minus something. Now what about this something modulus of x minus 5? I can say that modulus function, the output, the range will always be a positive number or it can be 0, right? The value of modulus of something cannot be negative, right? So what I'm doing is I'm subtracting something positive from 2. So अगर मैं 2 में से कुछ भी subtract कर रहा हूँ, 2 में से मैं कुछ भी positive value subtract कर रहा हूँ, so the final value will have to be less than or equal to 2. Okay, so range, I'm talking about the range. So range of this function will be minus infinity up till 2. Now 2, will it be included? So if modulus of x minus 5 is equal to 0, क्या modulus of x minus 5 0 हो सकता है? हो सकता है, क्यों नहीं हो सकता? At x equal to 5, अगर मैं x का वैल्यू 5 पुट कर देता हूं, तो modulus of x minus 5 will be equal to 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. So in the range, 2 will be included. Alright. Now, on the basis of this, I can eliminate option A and option C, and I will keep option B and D with me. Okay. Now, talking about the domain, modulus function is defined for all real values of x. Yes, it is defined. Okay. So I can say that the domain of this function will be all real numbers. So that is option B, and option D is eliminated because it is saying that all positive real numbers. No, x can be negative as well. All right. So option B is the correct answer of question number 34. Moving further to next question, question number 35. Read it carefully. The domain for which the functions defined here, fx and gx, are equal. So these two functions should be equal, and we'll have to find out the values of x for which they are equal. Okay. Now, attempting it carefully, 3x square minus 1, I will equate these two functions, is equal to 3 plus x. Now, by careful observation, you can see that you will get a quadratic equation. Now, quadratic equation generally has two solutions. Okay, right? Both the solutions may be equal, so it may have single solution as well, but it will never have more than two solutions. Okay, and I'm trying to save your time. So these two functions will be equal for some particular values of x, and the number of values of x cannot be more than two. Maximum दो ही values हो सकती हैं x की. Okay. Now look at option B, C, and D. Now, option B, C, and D, they define a range of values. Okay. So option B says -1 से लेके 4/3 तक जितने भी numbers होंगे, they can be the values of x. Obviously not possible because it contains infinite number of numbers. Similarly, option C says between -1 and 4/3, all the values will be included. Again, there are infinite numbers between -1 and 4/3. Option D is saying a similar thing. Okay, so without even solving this question, I can eliminate these three options. I'm left with only option A, which can be easily marked. Okay, in case you want to solve it, in case you have plenty of time and you want to waste it, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm just giving you an approach of saving time while solving these questions. Again and again and again, I'm telling you, you must save time in such cases. Okay. So solving this, 3x square minus x minus 4 equal to 0. And let's split the middle term. So 3x square minus 4x plus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Right? Factorization करते हैं. So x common लिया. So 3x minus 4 and then plus 1 common liya, 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Taking 3x minus 4 common, x plus 1 equal to 0. From here, I'll get two values of x. X is equal to 4 upon 3 or x equal to minus 1. So, the domain for which the functions will be equal, it will have only two values of x, which is correctly shown by option A. Alright, so question number 35, it's done. You can save your time in case you want to show all the steps. I have done it for you. Moving on, let's look at next question, question number 36. Now, question number 36 or the next one or two questions are very interesting. Okay. Now, here two functions, two relations are defined or two functions are defined, and we'll have to find out the domain of f multiply g, only the domain. Okay. Now, I'll write the complete function f multiply g. Now, first of all, the domain of these functions will be the common domains for both the functions individually. So individually दोनों functions को देखो and common domains mark कर लेते हैं. Now looking at the function f is defined at 0, but function g is not defined at 0. Right? So 0 will not be the domain of f dot g. Similarly, 1 at x equal to 1, g is defined but f is not defined. Okay, so just look for the common values of x for which both the functions are defined. So both are defined for 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so I can say that f multiply g can be written as 2 comma. Now for x equal to 2, both the functions are defined and the value of y will be the product of these two. 0 multiplied 2 is 0. Okay. Then at x equal to 3, the product is minus 4 multiply minus 1, that is 4. At x equal to 4, the product is 2 multiply 4, that is 8. So 4 comma 8. And at x equal to 5, the product is 1 into 3, that is 3. So this is the entire function f dot g or f multiply g. Now the domain here will be 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, and that will be your answer. So we just need to get the domain of f multiply g, which I have written. It's 2, 3, 4 and 5 in the element form, right? So that was question number 6. Fill in the blank. Question number 37. Question number 37. The function f and function g are defined, okay, and you will have to match the following. So on the left hand side you have f minus g, f plus g, f multiply g, f divided by g. Okay, now we have just seen in the previous question what needs to be done for such cases. So first of all these four functions will be defined only for the common set of values. So common set of values mark kar lete hain. So 2 is common, 5 is not common, 7 is not common, 8 is common, and 10 is common. Okay. Now the first part, f minus g. So at x equal to 2, function f of 2 is 4 and g is 5. So 4 minus 5 is minus 1. So f minus g should be 2 comma minus 1. It should start with 2 comma minus 1. I can see it in the third part. So this will be matched with the third one. Okay, right? 2 comma minus 1. 8 के लिए check करते हैं minus 1 minus 4. It should be minus 5. And then at x equal to 10, it is minus 3 minus 13, that is minus 16. So it is completely matching with the third part. Okay, so f minus g can be matched with the third part. This one is used. Now f plus g in the similar manner. So 4 plus 5. So at x equal to 2, it should be 4 plus 5, that is 9. So 2 comma 9 should be there. At x equal to 8, it should be minus 1 plus 4, that is 3. At x equal to 10, it should be minus 3 plus 13, that is 10. So completely matched with fourth. Okay, so fourth is also used. Done. Now f multiply g. 4 multiply 5 is 20. Matched. So this will be matched with 2, and you can match the other values also. And then finally, whatever is left will be the number 1. So d will be matched with 1. Okay, you can check. At x equal to 2, it will be 4 upon 5. At x equal to 8, it will be minus 1 divided by 4. At x equal to 10, it will be minus 3 divided by 13. Okay, so all these four are matched from the left hand side to the right hand side. So that was question number 37, right? Moving ahead and looking at the last 5 questions which are true and false. Okay, starting with question number 38, the ordered pair 5 comma 2 belongs to the relation x comma y, where y is equal to x minus 5. Now here the ordered pair 5 comma 2, it says that x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 2. I will substitute in the given equation y is equal to x minus 5. Okay, so putting the value of x as 5, so the value of y will be 5 minus 5, that is 0. Okay, so at x equal to 5, the value of y should be 0, but this statement is saying that it should be equal to 2. There is a contradiction. So I can say that question number 38, it is false. Okay, so this statement is absolutely false. Done? Okay, now moving on, looking at question number 39. Now question number 39, it has given a function p defined by 1 comma 2. Look at the number of elements in p. There are 2 elements. Okay, then the Cartesian product P cross P cross P, how many elements, first of all, it should have? How many ordered triplets it should have? So there are two elements in P. So number of elements in P cross P cross P should be 2 into 2 into 2. That is 8. So there should be 8 elements in the Cartesian product P into P into P. But the statement is given only 4 elements. So obviously it cannot be true. The number of elements are not matching. Okay. So I can say that question number 39, this statement is also a false statement. Okay. Simple. You don't have to completely write the Cartesian product P multiply P multiply P. Okay. Let's move on and look at next question, question number 40. Now, question number 40, set A is defined, set B is defined, and set C is defined. Then we'll have to find out A cross B union A cross C. Now, since there is a union between them, so it should have all elements from A cross B as well as from A cross C. I'll not write it, I'll just match. So first of all, let's look at A cross B. So A cross B should have a 1, 3, 1, 4. So 1, 3 and 1, 4 are present. Alright. Then 2, 3 and 2, 4. 3, 3 and 3, 4. So 2, 3, 2, 4. 3, 3, 3, 4. I have all of them. Right? Okay. Now what about AC? Now AC should have 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. So 1, 4 already present hai yahan pe. 1, 5 and 1, 6 additionally they are present. Then it should have 2, 4, 2, 5 and 2, 6. So 2, 4 already present, 2, 5 and 2, 6 added. Then 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. 3, 4 is already present, 3, 5 and 3, 6. And that defines the complete set A cross B union A cross C. Okay. So statement 40 or question number 40 is absolutely true. So this statement is correct. Done. Now the last two questions. First of all, question number 41. X minus 2 comma x y plus 5 is given as minus 2 comma 1 by 3 are two equal ordered pairs. Then the values of x and y needs to be calculated. So if two ordered pairs are equal, then the respective first elements should be equal and the respectively second elements should be equal. So x minus 2 is equal to minus 2. I have equated the first part. So that means x is equal to 2 minus 2, that is 0. So the value of x should be 0, but they are saying that value of x is 4, which is false. So you can straight away say that this question is also false. Done. Now moving on towards the last question of this exercise. The Cartesian product A cross B is given as A comma x, A comma y, B comma x, B comma y. Okay. And then we'll have to find what are set A and set B. Now set A is defined by all the elements which form the first part of each of these pairs, ordered pairs. So I have A, B and B as the first part, as the first elements of each of these ordered sets. So set A will be A comma B. Okay. Now secondly, set B. So set B is defined by the second elements. Okay, which are x, y, x, y. Okay, so set B will be x comma y, right? Now this is what they are saying. Set A is A comma B and set B is x comma y. So this part is true. So question number 42, the statement is true. All right. So friends, that is all about all the questions from the second chapter of Exemplar booklet of class 11, Relations and Functions. I hope you liked the way I'm explaining these questions to all of you. Okay, so if you actually like it, then why don't you press a like button quickly? So do that. Also, in case you have any query, any question, you are facing some difficulty in solving any question, so please leave a comment. I definitely provide you the entire solution for that. Also, please share this video with your friends and family, and do subscribe my channel so that you will receive the notifications of all my upcoming videos. All right. So friends, keep watching these videos and keep learning from them. All the very best. to all of you for your future. Have a nice time. Bye bye.